For number 31, they start off by telling us HE is congruent to GF. And also that HE is parallel to GF. And that was our given. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark that in my diagram. We have HE is congruent to GF, and we know they're parallel to each other. So I'm just going to do those little arrowhead things to indicate that they are parallel. We are trying to prove that angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. So to do that, we can create two angle pairs with angle 3 and 1, also with 1 and 2. But before we do that, for angle 3 and angle 1, we need to have parallel lines that are touching both of them. So we need to first prove that HG is parallel to EF. So to do that, we're going to show that HEFG is a parallelogram. So we already have enough information to say that. We can say HEFG is a parallelogram, and we know that because opposite side is parallel and congruent. And that was one of the theorems that we went over in our notes, that if we can prove one opposite side is parallel and congruent, that means we have a parallelogram. Now that we have a parallelogram, we can say that HG is parallel to GF. And that's because the parallelogram implies that both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. And we don't have to list the second pair of parallel lines because that was already given to us in our given information. So we don't have to list that one here. Now that we've showed that those two highlighted purple lines are parallel, we can use our angle pairs to say 3 is congruent to 1. And those are corresponding angles. So we would say that parallel lines imply that corresponding angles are congruent. And then we also know that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, and that one would be parallel lines imply, and those two are alternate exterior angles because each one is on the outside of the parallel lines, HE and GF. So that one would be alternate exterior angles are congruent. Now, if we look, we're trying to prove angle 2 is congruent to angle 3, and we have angle 1 congruent to angle 2, and angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. So that gives us enough information to say angle 2 is congruent to angle 3 using the transitive property. And don't forget to put property of congruence for this so that you get full credit for that reason.